Hello Sagittarius, we're doing oracle reading, new moon in Libra, supermoon, October 16th. I was glad and moved to do this reading for the zodiac, and I had the time opening to do so. So bringing this back for you guys and seeing what the moon will be illuminating for you in your area of your 11th house, groups, your sense of community, what your contribution, your aspirations and goals as well with friends, your values, organizations, things like that. Okay, so that's what's going to be highlighted in this new moon in Libra, a new beginning for some of you. We're going to look into the recent past, your present point of advantage, what is a challenge or resistance, what is of help to you, your advice and outcome, clarifying with tarot. Hope you all are doing well. Thank you for returning subscribers, anyone who's new to my channel. Do hope you find these readings helpful. This is not on a schedule, but when I move to do more than the seasonal details, dates, and time frames, I will just pop up and provide you with this insight. Just another vessel here on YouTube. I welcome you to get to know me a little bit better by looking into my bio, how long I've really been at this. But we're going to get into this, give you hopefully some clarity, confirmation, forewarning, or how best to take advantage of these energies that this new moon in Libra is bringing to you. So let's look into your recent past. So we got the magic stream with the Knight of Wands. Okay, I do feel for many of you, you have joined what looks to be a very mutually beneficial type of group, and this could be by way of work or something that you've been passionate about. I feel many of you are around a new circle, a new community of people that you are have been excited to kind of jump into, dive into, and contribute to. This is a group that excites you. Whatever your purpose or aim is with this group, whether it is professional or philanthropy or something where you're helping others, that could be something here where as you help others, you help yourself. This is so this kind of happened quickly, but again, something that you maybe have had your eye on, caught your interest, and now you're ready. Maybe it took some time for you to be able to actually get on that horse and join this group and show what you have to offer to a group situation. Could be, I'm really picking up kind of work dynamic that some of you with your circle is really surrounded by those of you where you work together or you have some type of professional relationship, but there's also more that comes out of that. So many of you Sagittarius, your social circle does consist of people who are just as passionate about what you're passionate about, or even observing this group from the outside. Before you maybe joined, you saw that you could fit into this group, you can contribute to this group. So fast moving energy, and you being given a position in this group or stream where there's, again, something mutually beneficial going on here, something that stirs your passion. So that's in your recent past, as you recently joined, looks like. Okay, so looking into your present point of advantage, details with the Five of Wands. Okay, I'm getting a sense of, as you've gone closer or had a closer look within a group, that you may be aware of the conflicting energies within a group. There may have been presented a united front, but then you might be, as far as being in a position to take a closer look at the situation, or being included. Now you're in the circle, there's clarity on who doesn't like who, or who wants someone's spot here in some way. But it's also could be an energy of cooperation where you're getting down into the trenches of working together, and you might have some conflict, but you also may have this passion that gets you all kind of riled up about something having to do with, I feel this is knowledge and wisdom, and who's holding this information, or who's holding some type of information that could either resolve conflict or have like work through a situation with others in a team effort. There may be a need, a stronger need, as you are. I'm kind of getting that some of you are where you have found yourself in a new group, organization, or circle of friends. Getting a closer look may be a little bit of a struggle, or there could be information that you might feel is held back, and it's almost like pulling teeth getting some type of information. For some of you, there might be something where you were sworn to keeping things secret. I'm also kind of getting secret society type of vibes with this energy, that some of you might be realizing, and taking a closer look, and you may be having a bit of conflict over what's where there have been rules or regulations set in place for how a team should operate. Some of you might feel like you're ready to challenge what was set before, okay? Set before you by the way of instruction on how this team should be working together. I'm also kind of getting an element of competition where it's a competitive field in the sense of who can gather the most information, or who's bringing in these. It's almost like I'm getting a little bit of a competitive field, or competition in obtaining information, researching, and coming back to say, you know, I have the answer to this, or resolving the resolving the conflict with the solution that would put you in I feel like a better position in where you are. Some of you could be in this space where there once was harmony, or what you thought was a harmonious situation. I'm mainly getting that energy that now, as you take a closer look, you realize that there is no perfect circle, there is no perfect group, and there are some inner conflicts with the way information is either shared, or rules that are being followed, or rules that you are being expected to follow within a group. There could be some politics that some of you are dealing with, and now. And you even could be in that element. You could be that element of competition. You could be going over contracts, going over some type of documents too. But it's an energy where, again, it's more fire with this, and working with others. That's the key here. Some of you might have little conflicts over details, or how someone does something based on how you would do something. Okay, there's something here. I feel like you might be wanting to introduce or contribute, but it may upset the status quo. It might upset leadership. You might be challenging authority, or challenging who set something in place before. Okay, so that's a little bit of the energy that I'm seeing, and this is the point of advantage for you. So I feel like you're being stretched, you're learning more about this group, and what you can contribute to it, and learning how you can work with others within this team, or there definitely is some type of competition on who can provide the most information based on something here that you do. So let's look here now into what is your challenge, resistance. We do have rock bottom with the Page of Wands. So some of you, this is kind of a feeling of a demotion, I feel, or the feeling that you are limited in how far you can go with a group. Hitting a brick wall in a sense when it comes to communication. Your challenge or resistance here could be that. Finding a new way, a new path. I feel that some of you with competition, there's a feeling, or coming in with an aggressive attitude maybe too coming on too strong, too fast with the group, in wanting to maybe change things or upset again the status quo with an organization. May make you feel as if you maybe upset the wrong people, or there's going to be this sense of limitation with you and how far you're going to be going in with the group. This could be a learning experience for some of you. It could be a passing influence that was meant to kind of teach you a lesson about working well with others or working together with others. There's could also be a little bit of this sense of you have your own aims, you have your own focus outside of this group. You see that maybe there is going to be this end, like there's an ending inevitable, but it's just like you're not sure how it's going to happen or when it's going to come about. Your enthusiasm towards this group may be changing now based on what some of you may have, if you've realized this group is not all it was cracked up to be, or that it has its own conflicts. And some of you, this has been a change in an organization or a change in job or work, and where you thought the grass was greener, you might be seeing that, well, no, this is not going to be my end all be all place. There maybe needs to be a better way for you, or even further, or needing to kind of turn around and finding an alternative in something new. But for some of you, you might feel like you what you've chosen you want to stick with, even though there might be somewhat of a glass ceiling put in place for how far you're going to be able to go. Again, something about getting information. So there's someone that's hard to get information out of. They're constantly kind of, and there could be someone where you feel like they're leading you down a dead end, or there you feel like there's a dead end with this group organization, that it will be kind of coming into an end. You might be resisting this and trying to work the situation out, but there just could be too many different opposing interests in a group for it to continue to thrive, or for it to continue to thrive and go forward as it once was. I'm really feeling for some of you Sagittarius is you might be unaware of it, but you may have been that change agent in of bringing clarity to where there has been flaws in a system, clarity where there's flaws in a group, or how something is working, or again things that were set in place. And with this challenge or resistance now, there might be some form of where you see there are there are limits. There are now limits, and that eventually you might be going towards a new interest or a new path. Your challenge could also be, though, some of you Sagittarius, you might feel as if you are repeating a pattern with this group, and needing to be aware of how you might be placing limitations on yourself or self-sabotaging. But communication here, I'm getting with this, is like communication. You're always kind of hitting a brick wall in communication when it comes to someone specific, or questions and clarity to answers that you have, that you might feel internally conflicted over. Like, of what did you get into with this group? There's something of that being shown to you or being revealed to you at this moment or soon to come, that might put you in a spot where you're feeling like you might want to put an end or find a new way, an alternative way of doing things. I feel like there's an energy that is wants to stay by the book, wants to do things in order and of the way they've always been done. But there's some change with this where it needs to be renewed or updated. You might feel like you are the only one who sees this, some of you Sagittariuses, as far as like what can be done to change this rock bottom situation. Putting an end to, some of you it might be a challenge, like, this is so new, or I just got into this, I don't want to give it up. But if you're seeing that it's causing inner conflict within yourself, or there's too much conflict or competition within a group, you know, it might be time, like kind of the earlier the better, that you realize the situation is not going to be a fit for you where you thought it was a fit for you. Putting an end to that and not going through the motions of what you feel as an end is inevitable, or there's some brick wall that you're going to hit where you're going to have to find an alternative anyway. There might be a sense of you delaying that, making that move, making that step towards a new direction. Be careful with that, in a sense of losing out on opportunity based on you saying, well, I joined this and I want to stick with it, and I want to stick with it through the thick and thin of it. You don't want to waste your time with a situation that is beyond your control, or, you know, above you, in the sense that the way something is set up, there will always be some type of competitive edge, or there will always be this kind of conflict of information or how to do things within a group. And, you know, how long you're willing to put up with that is really going to kind of be up to you. But I feel like there's some type of communication, and you might be having trouble even closing the door, closing the chapter again with where you opened the door and invited yourself, or you were invited into a circle. So putting it into that might be difficult for some of you. Leaving this group, leaving the conflict, being in a space where you're not, you know, in competition with anyone but yourself, may be something here that is I think I might come back to that, especially when I get to here. So when this is the unexpected help that's going to be coming in, and this is a deep freeze with the Chariot, okay? I'm feeling something with this is like having to do with a timeout, obviously, with the deep freeze. Patience in allowing the seasons to change while you're in this mode of pause. While you're in this mode of pause, this Chariot's giving me this energy of like there's a chance for you to maintain control. There's a chance for you as well to elevate your status, as well educate yourself. I feel like for some of you, what you found in a stream of a group or an organization has now given you this kind of feeling of where you need to educate yourself a little bit more, where you can acquire skills to make yourself a bit more competitive. And so in that sense, your challenge and resistance could be that you're now going to be becoming a student, in the sense of learning something new to avoid this limitation energy. This is a limitation in how far you can go. Some of you are realizing now, okay, I see there's this door that's open to you where you're able to go into a space that you wanted to, you're passionate about. Now you're seeing that in order to remain competitive, there might, you might need to hit the books. And because of this challenge or resistance being kind of a rock bottom situation, and this maybe allowing you, or your challenge is now, are you going to educate yourself? Are you going to go for that new knowledge and information that will kind of give you this new way out of no way, or some type of knowledge that's going to elevate your status within the group? I'm feeling like there's a time out for you to do this. So some of you, if there's like a pause in, especially having to do with what's going on in the world, a pause in your career, you're taking advantage of this pause here and getting into a space where you can better handle conflict and be victorious over what's been opposing you and your position being limited. And so any time that you have as a timeout from this group, or where there is an inactivity, you, I feel, are going to be again adding to your value, to where you contribute to a group, a situation. I feel like you will overcome through pause and a little bit of time out, even from a group. This will help you gain a higher perspective. You're going to gain your direction. The Chariot follows the star. So in that sense, you are going to be finding your direction in meditation, in a mode where you are hibernating and maybe pulling yourself out of a competitive situation, or where there's conflict over the way things used to or are always done. You know, you might have thought maybe that you can come in and change a situation, but if there could be other, this could be above you in the sense that it's not for you to change, but it is for, it is going to be for some of you to, um, what you gain as far as information and insight and being close to a circle, it can kind of point you in the direction of whether you're going to be continuing with this group or going off and maybe doing your own thing. So this is something where you're maintaining control over opposing forces, and even if you are more of someone who is a leader and you brought an organization of different people together, a little bit of a timeout for some of you could have you gaining a little bit more control where you're mediating two different opposing sides here, or conflict. You being in that space of steering the wheel in the right direction, so that these two are facing the right direction and going in the right direction. So, but I'm seeing as well too, some of you might be pulled in a different direction, like pulled out of this. So again, what this could come in is like, this could be an invitation for some of you to leave a group situation that, again, you thought was good. You thought was, you know, what you wanted would be mutually beneficial. And at some point it maybe was, but now there may be just a little bit too much of this conflicting energy or competitive energy or inner conflict within yourself. And so then the challenge would be that there could be a new opportunity, but you would have to leave this group. You would have to leave this group and go off on your own. Some of you might be called to more solitude, more solitary work, or again, where you have a little bit more control and there's no one who's telling you pretty much which direction to steer. You're feeling it, you're following your goal as far as where you, and with this deep freeze, I feel like you have time, that you have the patience, you know, to get something started while well, let's say while others are sleeping, in a sense. You being awake and alive and energized and fired up to take advantage of a time frame where others may be slacking off, or, you know, not focused. You're maintaining your focus here. You're maintaining your focus in the midst of there being this need for the season to change, or the environment to catch up to where you already see yourself going. So I'm feeling like leadership, some of you could be in the line for a leadership role here, and based on your knowledge and information, you coming in, I feel like for some of you with the new group, you've already been kind of seen as like that competitive person who others need to kind of watch out for. You kind of, some of you might have that influencer element where you've entered into a new space and others are like, wow, I really have to step my game up because the Sag, you know, might show me up, or this Sag might be, you know, someone who would be coming for my position or something in that sense. So that's somewhere where you're dealing with conflict, but I feel like for some of you there's some inspiration that's going to be coming out of the situation for you in order to kind of get on your own chariot as far as being, you know, a leader, gaining more sense of control over opposing or conflicting energy, and you being in a space where it's on hold, but it's something within that you're doing. Maybe people may be seeing that you're not, or from their viewpoint, they may be seeing, oh, well, Sagittarius isn't doing nothing, but there's always something kind of working in your mind and your spirit, and also you're strengthening yourself. So there's an opportunity for you to strengthen yourself, strengthen your position. Could be through education, could be through other means of you being victorious in a competition as well. So some of you, if you're you know you're in a competitive situation, you know there's a position that others are also vying for. I feel like for some of you, there's like, if you don't get that position, then you are out. You're going to be leaving. You're going to be going towards something new. But it's a feeling of like you're conflicted and even wanting to do that. But what I'm getting here is like through a pause and through a break, you might shine. And also what you do with your downtime might be something that is being watched and carefully analyzed by someone who has the power to put you in a position of authority. The way you handle conflict could be realized as something that is a powerful asset to a group or organization, where you're going to be offered some type of leadership position. So some of you might be given a team of people to, or that should be something, could be something that's already going on. There's a team of people where you're working out everyone's kind of tasks. You know, some of you are like, you're delegating. Some of you are in a position of delegating tasks. Some of you might need to as well change the communication that you used to have with others, in the sense of, you know, being on the same level playing field. If you're being called out of that, there's a sense where your communication may change. And for some of you, it may change the dynamic of a relationship with someone in particular. You know, it's just kind of brand new, in a sense of an energy where now they're answering to you, where you used to kind of work together, or vice versa, in that sense where now someone who is, you know, was once your friend, you realize that communication will have to change, or there's something here where you have to be careful about who you communicate with and how you communicate, based on there being kind of a higher calling coming in for you. You might realize, and some of you, I feel like you're being prepared, you're being groomed. There's a grooming process that's going on here, within a group for you. Okay, you're being groomed to, or some of you are grooming someone else to take over something here that you might be ready to move on from, where you might need a little bit more peace from this conflicting energy that could be coming in as well. So something of a vehicle, something too with the vehicles coming into, in the form of, or something else having to do with travel or a vacation, something you take for yourself. Some of you may need a break from this group that will be helpful for you to gain perspective, higher perspective, that you needed to kind of pull yourself up, once you separate yourself from. There's a perception change here that you might have on kind of solutions on how to resolve conflict, or introduce new ideas to where there you know, people are close to it. There may be a way that you can implement something that where someone's a little conflicted, like they want things to stay the same, and you realize that something could be beneficial if it's changed in a way, or there's a new element that you're, a new energy, fresh energy that you're bringing into a situation, or trying to bring into a situation. So your advice is peaks of joy with the Ace of Cups. This is, you know, be happy about, and I also, in a sense with this, is like, fill your cup and do what's best for you with this Ace of Cups. Self-love, self-care, everything that you do doesn't have to be for the group. There's some things that maybe you need to be doing for yourself and your own sense of happiness. I'm also getting kind of like, whatever you're presenting to a group, do so with enthusiasm and with love and compassion for others needing to also see where they can fit into in the scheme of things, because I'm almost getting this for some of you, as you're coming into a group and you're coming in with a lot of passion, or you've come in with a lot of passion. There's something here where what you do could, it's almost like eliminate a position, and that where you could be feeling like people are threatened by you, threatened by your presence, threatened by your knowledge, threatened by your ideas or your overall confidence. But this is still kind of, in a sense, kind of rise above that, and your enthusiasm towards something is contagious. Oh, sorry for that interruption. So your advice with this, again, with the peaks of joy, Ace of Cups, is you can bring a healing energy and a love and enthusiasm that is contagious to a group or situation, okay? You can, with your enthusiasm, motivate a group, but also it may be time for some of you to step outside of a group, outside of a conflict, and do what is going to be fulfilling for you, because this peaks of joy is a freedom feeling. This person is not in competition with anyone. This person is flying high on their own passions, their own love, their own sense of accomplishment, pouring in their love into a situation. Again, this is community, what you can do, what you can contribute to your group. And if there has been some form of rejection for what you can contribute, there's something here where you can kind of step out on your own and, you know, curate your own group or following through your enthusiasm, or again just do something in where you are contributing to a group by just the love of what you do, the love of what you uh, are rising above, you know. So I feel for some of you, this is rise above the competition, rise above the competition, and do what's best for you. It might be time for some of you to focus more on what is fulfilling and making you happy, not so much for, you know, competing for the sake of competing or wanting to win for the sake of wanting to win, because for some, you know, it might be a little bit of that energy. And when you do that, you might not even be, you know, the prize the prize may not be what you want it to be or what you expected it to be. You know, are you fighting to end up in a dead end situation? That could be somewhat, you know, where, you know, you're not going to be happy, or it's going to hold you back or set you back. So that's something that you definitely need to assess for yourself depending on your situation. The outcome with this is the goblins with the Hierophant, okay? You're going to learn more about what is kind of the ugly side or the shadow side of a situation or a group. And you might find that it comes from the head, okay? And whatever comes from the head trickles down to a group. And in that learning, and that could be where there has been some conflict. There could be someone who kind of sets it that way. There could be something where someone benefits from there being conflict, from there being lower vibration energies around a situation, okay? And so in that sense, that's something that you will learn of, and it will also kind of give you a sense of what it is that you really did get yourself into. Now, some of you, realizing this, you're still going to be going forth with this group. You might still be, you know, the commitment or something that you made where you merged, you now have something invested in a group. And in that sense, you will have to kind of work on overcoming where this energy is coming from the top or the head, and needing to kind of submit to that authority. But also what you learn is in some position, and even in a higher position, you know, there is that side of it where you're going to be revealing, you're going to be seeing, it's going to be revealed to you, where, you know, there are some, you know, there's devil in the details, in the sense of how things really do get done, or how decisions are really made, or why there are certain kind of elements in place in a group or organization. This is also your faith being tested. I feel some of you, your faith will be tested, your faith in what you're doing. But continue to believe in yourself, and you can overcome this. But I definitely feel like your eyes are going to be open to a lot more of what it is that you have gotten into. And some of you are definitely going to get that information about why it's been so difficult, or maybe why it's been like pulling teeth to get information, because it's something here that's set in place. But also I feel like for some of you, this is an invitation. This is an invitation. That I get invocation, or even some type of ceremonial kind of being sworn into. And again, that kind of like society kind of vibe. So let me get your wild offering card. Let's see. Ooh, okay, we got one turned over. All right. Challenges. Unbearable situations throw you directly into God's arms if you are open. Please take over, divine, and guide the right actions. Please take this burden and show me your will. I feel like that's a really good message for you, because I do feel, you know, there are some challenges now that you're realizing in a group or organization, but you can overcome them. Your faith will be tested, but continue to bring your positivity, your optimism to the situation. As well, do what's best for you in the form of following your star. And as you have downtime, there may be, and those challenges are not going to go away, but it may strengthen you to overcome any limitations, or, you know, the change that you want to see. You know, the Hierophant's a 5, this Goblins is a 5. I'm getting for some of you Sagittarius is you might be better suited in a leadership role than someone who's taken that precedence before you. And this could be also something that a team realizes, but also that person realizes, and they could be doing a lot to kind of hold on to it or limit your progress. But I say push through, because whatever's coming, kind of, it's almost kind of divine in its way, that you might be being used as a vessel, in a sense, to be an agent of change, or to usher in some type of new chapter within a group or organization. So that is the messages I have for you, Sag. I do hope it was helpful for you. If it is, or if it was, give me a like. These are, again, predictive messages. The new moon influence with this super moon in Libra could, extend beyond, just from the month to month new moon. Especially regarding this particular area in your 11th house. So I thank you so much for watching. You have a great rest of your 2020. Take care.